with a total at number 3. The aim Aether getting number 1. They ended it with 23
Esos
points.
son los
Second
jugadores que
there
vamos
to
a
follow
jugar.
up with them was Team Top Guns, who ended at 17, and then at 14 right under them Team NRX. So they're only 3 points away from catching up to Team Top Guns. Very much so doable if they can find the frags or the better placement. If Team Top Guns doesn't do too well coming to map number 2. But map number 2, they did pretty well in map number 1, Team Top Guns. We can probably expect more of the same from those top 3 teams, but from the other rest of the teams. Let's see how things are going to come up. Be there 7:30 here, scheduled to start very much so soon. Miramar. Now Miramar, Asarai, we know it is quite an open map. We know it is a very desert map, a very deserted map.
Mhm.
What can we expect here from our 8 duos coming into such an open, wide-ranging map?
Priorities on being able to get vehicles into your hands. Now, I think that even though it might be risky, it's actually better to get 2 vehicles for your part, because I think it allows you to get a bit more a bit flexibility on strategies, where you can use one vehicle to block bullets while the other one is trying to get away, stuff like that. Anyways, we are already here for our second game, and once again, we have a pretty, I don't know if this is what it is, but we got a very generous plane trajectory for these past 2 maps, and it seems like that's going to be the case here for Miramar. These duos coming into the particular map will have their selection of where they want to go. Honestly, I'll stay away from area such as Los Leones and El Pozo. There's way too big for my taste. Might be going in for some of those more micro areas there. But we'll have to see if any of these duos will drop on the same location. It's uncommon, but it does happen. First to drop out right now will be Team Top Guns. Tesai and U Gaming did particularly well on that one, but it was just more of, there was just too many coming in from all angles as to why they didn't really close out the game, and it was Aether who won at the very end. But for the most part, I do feel like they have a good shot at coming back. They're only down a couple of points, so they can maybe bring it back if they're able to take out Aether Gaming a bit earlier in this second map.
Yeah, you can see after them, Team Remy Bay, the next ones to drop down. Aether and NRX following suit, and we already have most of our teams drop, most of our squads rather, most of our duos, correct myself a third time, to drop here already. Most of them dropping off the squad spot here on Team Potato Guys, and finally you can see the drops coming in, all 8 duos dropping in, and Team Remy Bay, they have a good spot here in Power Grid. They have the height advantage of that mountain right to their south to help them as well. You can see here, Team Aether, they do drop on Hacienda del Patron, and it's quite a good spot for them to try and get things going. Lots of loot here, and it's a very compact place, so which means they can clear it quite quickly. But Hacienda del Patron, being right beside San Martin, might just help out their favor, because nobody really dropped there towards San Martin, and that's going to allow them to try and get even more loot than they otherwise could have gotten only from Hacienda del Patron. You know, probably expect them to move west after that, but you can see your Team Top Guns on Utisai and U Gaming. So, trying to get things going here in the early stages now of the map Miramar. Now Miramar, let's talk about this map and how it might change things up. Technically, it is the same size as Erangel, right? It is 8 by 8 kilometers. The difference is, for Erangel, I believe only like 60% of it is land. Maybe not even 60. On Miramar, at least the majority of it, 80%, is all land. There isn't that much water to go around, which means there's lots of open fields and open desert space to traverse through, and vehicles are definitely going to come into a big play here. You might even expect them opting to go for sniper rifles, considering the ranges that can be found here on Miramar. Not that much cover. And so, you can see, finally, your Potato Chuck is able to get a rifle in his hands. You're going to switch out that crossbow. He does find something better. But for now, all the teams trying to regroup themselves, trying to Get geared before anything else happens. Do not want to get into a fight early on if you do not have the weapons in your advantage. You can see a Double Republic and Pow Pow here for Team DD. They went out quite early last map number 1. Let's see if they can try and bring it back here on map number 2. It's going to be duo number 5 there. That's going to be Team DD once again. They have dropped quite in the thick of things, all things considered. For now,
Yeah, so
everybody will be safe and sound.
okay, so to kind of add to what you were mentioning there, yeah, definitely agree that, you know, there's a lot more open field on Miramar, and to also add to that, there's gonna be a lot more emphasis on having smokes, because even though, yeah, there's possibly rocks or trees here in Miramar, they're way too spread out thin in this particular map here. And what that entails, or that means, is that there's not literally a lot of cover when you're gonna be shot from multiple angles. Like maybe just from the one angle, but your opponent can just, you know, readjust their positioning just a smidge, and they'll find like your foot or your leg already exposed out in the open. So being able to create your own cover, to create your own defense, which is basically a vehicle and smoke grenades in your arsenal with you, that's going to be very, very important. You know, once we start seeing these teams clump up together as the zone closes ever so slowly. For the most part, that's going to be what I think they should be getting right now. And of course, what Team Aether did on that previous map in Erangel, which was to secure the drop here. And it was kind of good about this is that since we aren't going to go for these, you know, 4 squad games, these 80 drop maps, it's actually only 16 players here, 8 duos in total. Trying to go for the red package, the loot crate, the care package, is going to be slightly easier. It's still dangerous, but it's easier. And if you can get it, that means that you're always going to have a tier 1 or tier 2 up in terms of the equipment against your opponent. Because, again, these care packages drop instantly, 100%, level 3 helmet, armor, and backpack. So that's very, very useful in the, of course, in PUBG, where equipment is also like a surefire way to be able, or good equipment is a surefire way to be able to win bouts. And we saw that a while ago. You saw Zen Pro on Erangel just really go in and fearlessly try to get that level 3 armor, whether it does him good or not. At least when you're in that firefight, it will definitely give you a much needed advantage against your opponent.
Yeah, in pretty much every esport out there, you can expect there to be some sort of like economy or something that is really high tier that you fight over. And in this case, the economy that is really being fought over in this game here in PUBG Mobile is those high tier loots. You know, the level 3s, armor, weapons that are very high damaging, very almost, but to say the least, meta for good reason. And so you can see here, Team Eliza and Drell TV, they did do pretty well in the last map. They were Team the Beauties, and they still are. They were able to get into map number to second place there, rather, on map number 1, crossing here the very open fields. Fortunately for them, they're not gonna get punished for that. They're still gonna be quite safe, but you can see here Zen Pro and his teammate Aether Gaming still weighing in. Nothing really happening on their side either. These teams both trying to get things out, but they are geared up to take these fights. Level 2 across the board in terms of armor, bag, and the helmet that they do have on him. Kevlar looking pretty well. See, is a bacon. No healing items on her. So they're on a almost bare naked M16A4. A3 rather, to be specific. Does not have healing items on her, and the level 1 helmet might just bite her in the back if they do fight the engagements for now. But for now, they're going to be safe, and you can hear the drop. First care package coming underway. See if anybody's going to drop it. But a Double Republic! He's actually able to down Potato Chuck with the Car 98K there. Taking it at range, and he's able to come out on top. He does down a Double Republic, and that's going to be Team DD down to just one member, Pow Esports. He's going to be left alone here, the captain here for Team DD. Will they be the first once again to go down on map number 2? They were the first ones to go down on map number 1. Will it be the same story here coming to map number 2?
For how that's gonna be, you know, kind of panning out. That's incredibly bad at the beginning to lose a teammate such as that when, you know, the circle is still this big. I mean, of course, there's a finite areas that you can just go and loot without finding in any one of these extra duos. But for the most part, that is the Potato Guys losing a vital teammate. Although Double Republic did take quite a bit of damage, but oh, they wiped out. They wiped out the Potato Guys. So it's not only just Trisha Potato, it's the whole duo. So that's gonna be 2 kills in the inventory of Team DD. So good job from them. That's a step in the right direction. And of course, with those kills in mind, they're gonna be able to loot their opponents to their heart's content, go inside this this Shake Shack right here, and just heal themselves up. It's quite for a smidge, as the zone is ever so slowly closing in. They also have like level 3 helmet for a Double Republic, which definitely will be helping out later, because the only thing that can break a level 3 helmet easy, I believe, is a M24 and an AWM, if memory serves correct. For the most part, good job for Team DD.
Yeah, Team DD stepping up to the plate here. They did not perform as amicably on map number 1, but here in map number 2, able to wipe an entire duo. That's going to help their cause out to try and bring them further into the standings there. This Team DD, a Double Republic Pow Esports, going to bear the fruit of their labor and that good loot that they're able to pick up. Now, Issa Bacon and Remy Bay here, looking up north. They're still on top of the hill. They do have the height advantage working in their favor. So anybody who comes there from the east is going to be in a world of hurt, because they can put shots down at range from high above. Lots of concealment to help them out. You can see your Team NRX. They do have a good amount of weapons on their side too. You can see, like an AA, he does have a 416 and M24 on his back. These are almost the perfect ideal weapons you'd kind of want here on the loadout on Miramar. And so, like an AA, have to watch out for what he might just be up to and what he can pull out here. He does have the level 2 all throughout, but it's not to be too much of a concern. He does have a single first aid kit and not any bandages, but he does have the soda in his pocket. You have vehicles here to traverse quickly, as the circle is still quite big. They don't have to necessarily worry about that for now. Here, Team NRS, locked and loaded, bring us once again into a very competitive endgame.
I'm kind of curious what Team Aether is kind of doing as of this moment, because we saw them have a visible plan. Like a lot of these duos that we're spectating as of the moment, they feel like they're just trying to go from area to area and, you know, play it safe, wait for their opponent to come to them. But the opposite there is some team like Team Aether, where they're just gonna be looking to go for those care packages real quick, and already they actually have a vehicle. This is the first, or no, this is one of the times where we're seeing somebody right now in Miramar in this game go for a vehicle quickly and start rotating in. So they have themselves 2 vehicles. That's actually really good already, and they have the buggy for Zen Pro. So like I do like to keep telling whenever I cast in Miramar, or actually in PUBG, is that buggy is the best single player vehicle for you, because the second player's seat acts like a turtle shell or a pan that can block a lot of bullets if they're shooting you from behind, compared to what Zinzo is using right now, which is the convertible. His head is extremely exposed, so one headshot can actually take him out and knock him off the vehicle. But Zen Pro is doing pretty fine and dandy. Now this thing isn't a 4x4. It's gonna have a slight tough time getting up top of the hill. There's actually a pickup truck right to his left, so he might want to pick that up. Yeah, he's going in that direction, so maybe, just maybe. And now we are seeing Watu Team Wasek with a pretty decent amount of items as well.
Definitely so. You can see Wasi, scar in hand. He does have lots of healing in his bag. Well, a decent amount. You can see here on the map. Remy TV, they're actually in the hot zone. They have to get out of there. Remy Bay. Otherwise, it might just be blown up. But I do think they have covered. They're hiding inside the houses there, just to the east of Power Grid. You can see quite close to each other. The team Top Guns and team number 4 here. I believe that's going to be Wasi TV, Team Wasek and Team Top Guns quite close to each other on the Hacienda del Patron. To their east, actually, here is Wasek TV. And Wasek, they went out a bit early in map number 1. Let's see if they can take out the squad that placed at number 2 here. The duo, rather, at number 2. So, Team Potato Guys. The Top Guns, rather. Still waiting here inside the Hacienda. Eliza making lots of noise. Wasi, I don't think they heard their vehicle, the Jeep, drive up there to the Hacienda. As Wasi, he's wrapping around through the indoors instead. Going through the hallways and the lobbies here. Instead of trying to just go straight across the courtyard. He's going to try and look for a bit more loot, but he can tell it's been looted up. Oh, he let a shot out, and that's going to alert your position here. The Team Top Guns, Team Top Guns. They know something is awry. Someone is close by. You can see Drell at the bottom here with Eliza. The beauties now. They're moving their way away from the Hacienda. Moving to the northwest, and that's going to be exactly what they should do. I mean, there is lots of loot anyways to the west of the Hacienda there on San Martin, and so seems like to be their plan.
I was kind of hoping they would, bring us some action already there at the Hacienda de Peltron. Also kind of like to call that as Shroud's Mansion. One of the incredible clips that he did during his PUBG days, where he just mowed down every single viewer on his broadcast and just kind of played around it. Awesome. In any case, yeah, telltale sign there for the beauties, or rather for Team Wasek. There was a team already there. Was obviously, if there's not really a lot of loot, you can't see any more bullets, you can't see a lot of heals. That means that somebody has already picked up there. Popping a shot like that by Watu-C was not a wise decision. Arguably, it does happen because you sometimes, fat finger. Since a lot of these players might be using their thumbs, it might have fat fingered on the fire button, and it just kind of give away their position. Whoa, okay, no, that's also a fat finger from Drell.
I mean, so, as you were saying, yeah. They could tell it was looted before the beauties even went there. Team Aether already hot dropped into the Hacienda. And so they left, and then came the Team Beauties. They looted what Team Aether left there for them, and after that, Team the Beauties leaving just in time for Team Wasek to sprawl their way into the Hacienda, and the Hacienda has now been looted 3 times over. But you can see here, Watu-C and Wasek, their duo, moving to the southwest, and if they diverted their trajectory a bit north, they would bump into Team the Beauties, Squad the Beauties, rather Duo the Beauties, to be specific, on Eliza and Durrell TV. But for now, Duo number 4 here in Team Wasek. I'm going to be finding those engagements yet.
Yeah. It's kind of nice to see that it's a bit more mellow at how these teams are starting to rotate into the site. Like, obviously it's slightly not good for us, where we're waiting for these players to start shooting at each other, but in terms of the tournament itself, it's kind of good for them that nobody has spotted anyone as of the moment, even though the zone is very, very close already. That big jump in terms of the next zone, so we might be seeing them start to go up against each other. The big question that we were asking a while ago is, are we going to be seeing more kills from teams that have yet to get points into their own pockets, where we only saw on Erangel the top 3 teams to get it, which is Top Guns, NRX, and Team Aether. So if they're able to pick that up for themselves, maybe. Of course, they're into the red zone, so Watu-C is playing keep inside indoors, because you know PUBG, they be mean. They're gonna just drop some red zones right there and mortar the bejesus out of this area. Sometimes it does go through buildings, so they also have to be careful with that one.
Yeah, stay a bit away from the window. The cluster might just carpet their way into downing a team here, but fortunately here for Team Wasek, you can stay alive through it. And we saw Team Aether there when he zoomed out on the map. They were zooming quite fast. That means they were on a bunch of vehicles making their way into the circle. Team Pow Pow, quite far away actually from the circle here. They were all the way down south, almost a whole kilometer or more away from where the circle was, and so they have to try and catch up here. Team Pow Pow. You can see it like the SKS in hand, lots of healing items on her. So at these engagements in mid-range, he's definitely favor her, especially with this scope. Oh, she spots out Wasek. CTV. Trying to cross up on the hill. Will she let shots ring out here, Eliza? Watching his movement go across the hill, not letting them ring out. Actually, he's letting them pass. They'll probably wait for a better angle to try and engage this. As Eliza. Oh. And Wasi. He has crested the hill. He's going to buy himself some safety. He does not know that Eliza is his way. He's walking up to her. Eliza, this is the time to take the shots. And he's probably going to let them ring in just a second, but he has went his way into the hut and not going to buy him much cover. Eliza, let him pass. Shots are finally rung out now. Wasek doesn't know what to do. He's going to swing back around. He's tagged twice. Down to less than half HP, 40% health on him. He does have a first aid kit to bring that back. But Eliza has made her side known, your position, and she's taking lots of damage in return. Very low already. Where is Drell TV? The beauties here. Taking lots of damage in return. They initially had the advantage element of surprise, but it has now been flipped over to them. Wasi and his partner here, Rasek, they do not have much cover in this way. If they can drop a smoke here to try and buy them some concealment, to try and wrap around and get the flank, it can potentially work out. But Drell, they do not know where Drell is. Drell has a good spot here to try and wrap around towards the west, towards the northwest rather, potentially find these. As Drell, I think the shots ring out here very low already, trying to push out Team Wasek. Rasek, he has to be very careful. Lands not, shots not landing rather, as Drell does whiff and let him pass. As they've pushed in closer, Drell gonna choose to fall back instead. Double barrel 12 gauge in hand. You're gonna try and link up and try and take these fights 2-on-2.
So that was an incredibly messy fight right there. You saw that Eliza did have some difficulties acquiring the target, even though it was seen at, her target was out in the open, pretty easy shot. It seems like she wasn't able to line up the crosshair properly. Took her a good 30 seconds before she started shooting, and that's never really what you want to see at that point. In any case, they know already what's inside here, what's in store for either of these two duos, and Eliza as well as Drell will be playing on the defensive here, starting to go for a crossfire and just trying to wait to see if their opponent Watusi and Rasek try to go in aggro against them. So for the moment, they're just kind of waiting a little bit here. A big thing that they might actually not put into account while they're going for this 2v2 is that a third party could come in and just clean them up, because they are firing a couple of shots and that can be hurled miles and miles away. Drell is going to be readjusting. Eliza still holding this angle right here. Drell looking a bit more confident in terms of her movement and does have that double barrel or that pump shotty to just go in and start wreaking some havoc. They do have the high ground here, but it seems like Wasek do have the low ground with a lot of smoke coverage. Now, the thing to ask here, Black and Blue, is that what happens when the zone starts closing in? Who has the better positioning? Who has the better transition angles here? Because it seems like for the moment, it's the beauties that have the better angle. Also, another question is, can they land the shots at far range? Because it seems like they were having some difficulties, and if they can't adjust, it's it's gonna be very bad.
Yeah, that is definitely true. It is the beauties who do have the advantage here if the circle starts closing. Why? They're a bit deeper into the circle, so they don't have to move as forward, but already, you can see here, Team Wasek, they realize this. If the circle closes, we do not have a good spot. Let's wrap back around, give them this position. If they want it so bad, let's give it to them. But for now, let's pull out of this fight. Not a favorable one to be taking. They do pull out instead here. Now, they're actually going to fight. Here's Zinsao. Still on top of the hill. He's taking a bit of damage. He had the convertible in his hands, but once again, Team Top Guns finding the engagements early on. Might just spell disaster here for Zinsao. He's going to be flanked by U-Gaming, but U-Gaming, he's not getting expected. He has the third-person camera. He's able to find a frag onto him. Zempro able to find on the other side of the map. He's going to find Tasai there inside the warehouse. And as Team Aether push up and in confidently here into the scrapyard, they do find and remove Team Top Guns from the equation here on map number 2. Very, very good job by Team Aether.
That means that we're just gonna be down to 6 duos already. Drell and Team Beauties. This is not a good way to go down. The microwave is roasting them alive. This is never how you want to go down. This is the thing I was talking about. If you're in Miramar and you have no vehicles, it will definitely hurt your case right now. Okay, I think I was way too early of a first aid kit. She's trying to figure out where the safe zone is. She kind of 180 there for a moment. Now she finds Eliza, her partner. She has to drink oh no. Ooh, yeah, she could have gotten maybe a bandage first before the first aid, but it's tad too late, and that is the Team Beauties kind of being heated up too much by the microwave.
Yeah, and as that was happening, you see the Wasek, Wasi TV, they're being taken down as well by the microwave. His teammate as well. As that was happening, actually, Aether Esports here on Zempro Gaming, they were able to find a frag onto a Double Republic. So Team DD, as he does go down, you can see there, Dan Fox will finish off a Double Republic, and that's quite something to see here, a Double Republic. That means there are 3 teams fighting it out right now, as it's going to be Team NRX, Team DD, and Team Aether in an engagement inside the circle.
That was kind of rather unfortunate to see. Yeah. Sorry, that was really kind of unfortunate to see how Watusi kind of just lost their lives again to the microwave. This is the death that the blue zone brings to the table, and if you're not fast enough, if you don't have the ample adrenaline that the energy drinks, the pills, or the adrenaline shot gives you to be able to move faster into the safe zone, it really hurts your case. And this is what Battle Royale brings to the table. Once you start, you watch the movie, guys, it puts the zone ever so closer to you guys. You watched Hunger Games, you know what happens here. You're not only fighting against these players here, you're also fighting against the elements, and if you don't respect that, it will take you for a ride that you might just get knocked off. And with that being said, we're down to our 5 final duos in this second map. For the moment, like you said, Double Republic did get 2 kills in their pockets, so that means that they at least have 2 points already. And looking into the horizon, it seems like Team Remy Bay, Team Remy Bay is still here with Issa Bacon alive, kicking, and in the hill.
Yeah, thing to point out there by Team Remy Bay, they're taking an opposite approach. All of these other duos are sticking together there, Team Aether and the rest. But here for Team Remy Bay, they have Issa Bacon further into the hills to the west. They're split up. You can see their shots coming out there by Remy TV. He is trying to take down Pow Pow here, who's the only member left alive for Team DD, as a Double Republic did go down. You can see that the play zone does take down Issa Bacon. She was out of it. He's now finally removed as Dan Fox rather, is able to find a frag of his own. We're down to just a few remaining duos, guys, ladies and gentlemen. This is turning out to be very favorable for, once again, Aether Esports. Aether Gaming.
Y así que ellos van a ganar el juego de que dando vueltas en carrito. Oh my god, pero ¿y qué es esto? Y eso es Championship.
So we are, you know,
sure.
just mellowing out a little bit here.
What?
Now, Bren or Pow Pow Esports is left to his own devices already. Okay, we're now seeing this is Team Aether up against NRX. So maybe NRX time to shine already, as we're gonna be seeing two Titans in this duo matchup show up. Zinzo is trying to just, or rather, that's actually Aether playing around. Like an AA is going around the corners here, trying to peek over the windows, trying to see if Aether is creepily, steadily going to where they are. They actually already both into the safe zone, so they don't have to worry about the blue zone roasting their skins too much. But for the meantime, they are dangerously close to each other. And if that zone, or if that zone repositions and goes out more into the open, the first duos they'll be looking at to fight against is each other when they try to go into the open field. And knowing this, Dan Fox is already out into the open looking to see if anybody's going to be rotating. And you can see right now that Team Aether has spotted a couple of targets. They see Pow Pow going in to the mystery machine, and he goes right in and blows that up. No more Scooby-Doo for you. And that's one less problem to deal with. And it seems like, yeah, Watusi is out in the open. Oh, no, he's going to get roasted alive. It's going to be just two duos to remain. That's it. It's 2v2 right now.
Our top two teams that we speculated to be on top here, Team NRX and Team Aether, going to go up against each other. You can see trying to wrap around instead. They know it's not a good fight for them, Team Aether. You can see Dan Fox making a bit of noise with that convertible, but they're using the cover and concealment of the crest of this hill for now. Team NRX, you can see there, Dan Fox swinging wide. They have spotted him out. The smoke to try and buy him some concealment on the rotate. But you can see, he's going to try and pull this vehicle instead here to try and wrap back around Dan Fox. Taking a bit of damage. He does have a first aid kit. He has another one to help him out in case anything else happens. But Zen Pro does have the AWM in his hands. Now, his convertible has been broken. No more vehicle here for Aether to use and potentially get the quick rotate here. You can see Dan Fox popping the smoke. That might just signal he's about to go towards the north. You can spot out Zenpro, letting the shot ring out there in the Car 98K. Not finding the shot though yet, as Zenpro has a sniper rifle of his own. Very, very intense gaming so far. Look, there is a no man's land in between these duos here, and you can see lots of smokes to try and buy them some concealment. Here, Team Aether swinging around to the west, to the southwest rather, as in Shao. And you go down on the ground. They try and be a bit more mobile now, just in case anybody is going to let shots ring his way. He spots out like an AA there on top of the hill, and NRX using the boxes for cover. But he's taking damage in return here, Team Aether. Aether Esports has to be very careful. He does have a first aid kit, but that microwave is going to roast him. The zone is closing up on them, and they do not have the advantage here as they are out of position. Zinsao, he's going to go down. Dan Fox, rather, is going to find the frag. It's going to be all to Zenpro Gaming here for Aether Esports. 2v1 situation. He's taking lots of damage. He's going to roast down, and that's going to be the game. Map number 2 here for NRX. Take it over Aether Esports and Zenpro Gaming. Squad Aether do come in at number 2 as NRX